This is the Voice of America, Washington, D.C., signing on.
Hier spricht die Stimme aus Amerika.
You are tuned to the Voice of America in Washington.
This is the Voice of America.
It's 15 hours Universal Time from Washington. This is VOA News Now.
From that very first broadcast during World War II, and ever since, the Voice of America has been the voice of freedom. You made it your mission to help America communicate with the world, to show the true character of our country and the ideals and liberties for which we stand.
Eine Stimme aus Amerika. Aus Amerika im Krieg.
This is a voice speaking from America.
A voice from America at war.
Daily at this time, we shall speak to you about America and the war. The news may be good or bad. We shall tell you the truth.
Nehmen Stützpunkt nach Stützpunkt der Deutschen in und bei Stalingrad. Seit dem 19. November, den 2 Monaten der russischen Winter.
Tokyo Road. Because for so many, many months now you've entertained the Marine Corps in general and the 1st Division in particular, we feel that the only gentlemanly thing to do is return the compliment. So...
The Japanese government and the Japanese Imperial Headquarters to order all Japanese forces to cease hostilities immediately and to notify him of the day and hour when Japanese troops would lay down their arms.
Wherever you may be listening to this broadcast, remember this. The people of the United States extend the hand of friendship to you across the seas.
Time for jazz. Willis Conover in Washington, D.C. with the voice.
You are about to hear some jazz recordings never before broadcast. Jazz by Hungarians, recorded a few weeks ago, just before the freedom fight broke out in Hungary.
Meanwhile, Trans-World Airlines began jet service across the Atlantic Ocean today. Its first flight took 96 persons from New York to London in less than 6.5 hours.
Mercury astronaut John Glenn has left the Friendship 7 spacecraft. He is reported to be a hale and hearty astronaut after having successfully flown the United States' first manned orbital flight.
It shall be the policy of this nation to regard any nuclear missile launched from Cuba against any nation in the Western Hemisphere as an attack by the Soviet Union on the United States, requiring a full retaliatory response upon the Soviet Union.
President Kennedy is dead. The President of the United States was shot down by an assassin's bullet as he rode through downtown Dallas, Texas, in an open automobile today. The gunfire...
All the foul Soviet tanks moved through Prague Wednesday. He said Czechoslovak citizens tried to block the streets with old theft.
American air attacks continue against Viet Cong staging areas north of Tai Ninh, the province which always has been considered a sanctuary of the North Vietnamese forces.
This is the Voice of America's continuous coverage of the mission of Apollo 11. In about 7 hours, the world's first moon explorers, astronauts Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin, will attempt to leave the lunar surface.
We resume our reporting on President Nixon's visit to the People's Republic of China. VOA is broadcasting live from Peking the reports of United States commercial television.
Our regular programming has been suspended at VOA so that we might keep you appraised of the situation of the attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan. President Reagan has undergone surgery successfully at George Washington University.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
The students marched through police lines and onto Tiananmen Square in 2 groups in the early afternoon, carrying banners calling for democracy, human rights, and clean government.
Hundreds of thousands of East Germans demonstrated Monday in several cities to press their demands for free elections and unrestricted travel. In Leipzig, about 300,000...
The coup to oust Soviet President Gorbachev has collapsed, and Mr. Gorbachev says he is in complete command of the country. He credits what he calls decisive actions by democratic forces in the country with foiling the coup.
Bizarre incident in the middle of Manhattan Island as a commercial jet
apparently crashes into one of the world's tallest buildings, the World Trade Center.
The familiar chant of USA, USA resonated as citizens learned that Osama bin Laden was dead. The announcement...
This is VOA News. The World Health Organization said the United States could soon become the epicenter of the coronavirus pandemic.
Angry demonstrators carried their protests over the death of George Floyd into a sixth evening in cities across the United States Sunday.
Police at the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday responded with drawn guns and tear gas as hundreds of protesters stormed the building and sought to force Congress to undo President Donald Trump's election loss.
The United States began administering the newly approved coronavirus vaccine on Monday, with healthcare workers among the first to get shots. Critical care nurse Sandra Lindsay.
Indeed, others may try to jam your signal or silence your voice, but there's no stopping our message. Whether it's been families trapped behind an iron curtain or students trying to log on behind an electronic curtain, dissidents harassed by secret police or young people marching for the dignity and opportunity they deserve, you are the voice that reminds them you're not alone, and there's a place called America that stands with you.